Pour yourself a glass of iced tea, crack open a jar of pickles, spread some peanut butter on white bread. You're eating American food, right? Wrong. The Bureau of Industry and Security has tracked roughly $200 billion in U.S. food industry mergers and acquisitions to foreign owners over the last 2 decades. The brands sitting in your pantry, the ones with the eagle on the label, the founder's smiling face, the since 1923 stamp, most of them haven't been American-owned in years. Some haven't been American-owned in decades. The marketing is American. The profits ship overseas. This isn't a conspiracy. This is SEC filings. 10 brands. 5 you're being deceived by. 5 worth your trust. By the end of this, you'll never look at your grocery cart the same. Here's exactly what you're getting in the next 20 minutes. 5 all-American brands secretly owned by foreign megacorporations, ranked from sneakiest to most outrageous. Then 5 genuinely American-owned brands worth your money, including one tiny family operation that's outselling the giants. No brand paid for placement on this channel. Nobody slid a check across the table. This is a transparency channel, receipts only. And wait until you hear who owns the #1 offender. It's a brand in millions of American kitchens, marketed with red, white, and blue, and the parent company is headquartered nearly 4,000 miles away. Hellmann's, the bring out the best brand, the blue ribbon, the ad campaigns showing American backyard barbecues. Hellmann's is owned by Unilever, headquartered in London, England. Unilever generates over 60 billion euros in annual revenue, and Hellmann's is one of their flagship North American food brands. Here's what the label doesn't tell you. Unilever's consumer goods empire spans toothpaste, deodorant, ice cream, and frozen peas, which means your American mayo is a corporate sibling of Axe body spray. The ingredient stack on Hellmann's Classic is fine on paper. The deception is the heritage mark. The brand was founded by a German immigrant in New York in 1905, sold to a British conglomerate decades ago. This isn't a quality issue. It's a trust issue. You're paying premium prices to a London boardroom while believing you're supporting a Brooklyn deli legacy. French's Yellow Mustard, the bottle at every 4th of July cookout. The 100% American marketing campaign launched in 2017 was specifically designed to convince you the brand was patriotic. Here's what makes this worse than Hellmann's. French's spent millions reassuring American consumers that their mustard contained no foreign ingredients, while being owned at the time by Reckitt Benckiser, a British multinational also headquartered in the UK. Reckitt sold French's in 2017 to McCormick, which is genuinely American, but the years of foreign ownership baked into the brand's recent history, and the 100% American campaign was running while corporate profits were flowing to London. SEC filings document the time. The damage to consumer trust was the translation. When a brand has to spend marketing dollars insisting it's American, that's usually because it isn't, or wasn't, or might not be again. Always check the parent company. The bottle never tells the whole story. Vlasic, the cartoon stork, the best tasting pickle in the United States tagline. The brand has been a grocery aisle staple since 1942. Founded by a Croatian immigrant family in Detroit. Real American story, real American workers, until 2013. Vlasic is now owned by Conagra Brand, which itself is publicly traded with significant institutional foreign ownership. But here's where it gets weirder. The cucumbers in many Vlasic products are sourced from India, according to multiple shopper reports and import documentation cross-referenced through customs filings. Industry trade publications have reported on the Indian cucumber pipeline for years. Your Detroit-born pickle was likely grown in Andhra Pradesh, shipped across the Pacific in brine, and packed in an American facility under a Croatian-American family name. The brand equity is American. The supply chain is global. SEC filings on Conagra's procurement documents reference international produce sourcing across multiple categories. The premium they charge is not matched by the transparency. If a pickle has to travel 8,000 miles to get into your jar, you have the right to know. You thought it was safe, but Budweiser hasn't been American-owned since 2008. The king of beers, the Clydesdales, the Super Bowl ads featuring small-town American factories. All of it owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev, headquartered in Leuven, Belgium. The 2008 acquisition was one of the largest beverage mergers in history. Court records and SEC filings document the $52 billion deal. The original Anheuser-Busch family lost control. The brewing operations remained in St. Louis, but the corporate strategy, the profit allocation, and the executive leadership shifted to Belgium. Bud Light's marketing crisis in 2023 was managed from a European boardroom, not a Missouri brewery. Here's the documented record. AB InBev now controls roughly 25% of global beer sales. The brand still uses American iconography in advertising. The eagle, the bald eagle red, the patriotic Super Bowl spots. The ownership is European. The marketing is American. The disconnect is intentional. Before I show you the worst offender on this list, and trust me, it's the one in millions of American kitchens, hit subscribe so the next investigation lands in your feed. Now, the #1 brand to avoid. Smithfield, the bacon, the hams, the genuine Smithfield stamp on the package. The brand was founded in Smithfield, Virginia in 1936. American workers, American hogs, American heritage. Until 2013, when Smithfield Foods was acquired by WH Group, a Chinese conglomerate headquartered in Hong Kong. The deal was the largest Chinese acquisition of an American company in history at that time. Court records, SEC filings, and congressional hearings have all documented the transaction in detail. The translation is staggering. The largest pork producer in America, controlling roughly 25% of U.S. pork production, is owned by a Chinese parent company. Your Christmas ham, your Sunday morning bacon, your Easter pork roast, all flowing into corporate accounts in Hong Kong. The Smithfield label still shows a colonial-era American village. The brand still markets itself as America's #1 ham, but the profits, the strategic direction, and the executive accountability now sit overseas. Here's something the industry hopes you never figure out. Some Smithfield pork has been documented in shipping records traveling to China for processing and returning to U.S. shelves. The USDA confirmed in 2018 that processed Chinese chicken could legally enter the American supply chain under similar arrangements. Banned practices in some European countries, legal in yours. This isn't a quality complaint. This is a sovereignty problem. You're funding a foreign corporate giant every time you grab a pack of bacon. Now, flip the script. Now, the good news. Real American food brands still exist. Family-owned, cooperatively structured, vertically integrated on American soil. You don't need to drive to a farmer's market, and you don't need to spend triple. 5 brands at mainstream stores: Kroger, Costco, Target, Whole Foods, that put your money back into American soil, genuinely, verifiably. Here's the part nobody tells you. Once you start checking parent companies, you'll never shop the same way again. Bush's Beans, the talking dog commercials, the Tennessee factory, still family owned by the Bush family in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1908. 4 generations. Same family, same headquarters. Real beans grown on contract farms across the American Midwest. The company's USDA inspection records are public. The corporate filings show no foreign ownership. The price point is competitive. You can pick up a can at any Kroger or Walmart for under $2. This is the budget-friendly hero. No premium markup, no imported supply chain, just an actual American family running an actual American business. That's wild in 2026. Tillamook, the cheese, the ice cream, the yogurt. Founded in 1909 as a farmer-owned cooperative in Tillamook County, Oregon. Still structured as a co-op today, roughly 8 dairy farming families collectively own the brand. The structural credibility is unbeatable. A cooperative ownership model legally cannot be acquired by a foreign parent company without dissolving the structure. The milk comes from those member farms. The cheese is aged in Oregon. The ice cream is churned in Tillamook. USDA dairy inspection records and Oregon State agricultural filing document the supply chain transparently. Available at Costco, Whole Foods, Target, and most Kroger banners. The price is mid-tier, not premium. The trust factor is structural, built into the legal DNA of the company. Bob's Red Mill, the flour, the oats, the grain mixes. Founded by Bob Moore in Milwaukee, Oregon in 1978. Here's what makes this brand a top-tier hero. Bob Moore transferred 100% ownership of the company to his employees through an employee stock ownership plan in 2010. The company is now legally owned by the people who work there. Non-GMO project verified across the product line. Many products are certified USDA organic. The certification stack is documented and current. Independent lab testing on glyphosate residue has consistently shown low or undetectable levels. Verified by the Detox Project's third-party glyphosate residue testing program. Available at every major grocery chain in America. Slightly above budget on price, but the transparency justifies the markup. Real grain, real ownership, real accountability. King Arthur Bacon, the flour bag with the wizard, founded in 1790, making it the oldest flour company in America. Headquartered in Norwich, Vermont, here's the structural play. King Arthur is 100% employee-owned through an ESOP, certified B Corporation, and operates as a benefit corporation under Vermont law. 3 layers of legal commitment to ethical operation. The wheat is sourced exclusively from American farms, non-GMO project verified, independent lab testing. The B Corp certification requires ongoing third-party audits of social and environmental performance, which means King Arthur's claims aren't just marketing, they're legally enforceable. This brand is the disruptor doing it right. Available at Whole Foods, Target, Kroger, and most regional chains. Slightly premium pricing. Every dollar stays in the American food economy.
Organic Valley, the dairy that beats every major American dairy brand on structural integrity. Founded in 1988 in Lafarge, Wisconsin, as a cooperative of 7 family farms. Today, Organic Valley is owned by roughly 1,600 American family farms across 34 states. The largest organic dairy cooperative in North America. Not publicly traded, not foreign-owned, not acquirable. Every product carries USDA organic certification, independent third-party audits, document Pasture X, animal welfare standards, and feed sourcing. Glyphosate residue testing through the Detox Project has consistently shown the cleanest results among major American dairy brands. Here's the transparent. Organic Valley distributes some products through partnerships with larger food companies, including some with foreign parent corporations for broader retail. But the cooperative ownership of the milk itself is legally protected. The farmer owns the brand. The brand cannot be sold without dissolving the co-op. Available at Whole Foods, Kroger, Target, Costco, and most major chains. Mid-tier pricing for organic. The vivid quality marker is the Pasture X. Organic Valley cows graze on real grass for a documented minimum of 120 days, exceeding USDA organic baseline requirement. This is the gold stamp. American owned by 1,600 families. Verified by 3 federal certification. Untouchable by foreign acquisition. If you switch one brand after this video, switch your dairy.
The brands you trusted most are the ones most likely to have sold you out. Send this to someone who's been buying Smithfield bacon their whole life. They deserve to know where their grocery dollars are actually flowing. Next week, I'm exposing the breakfast cereal aisle. 5 wholesome brands owned by tobacco companies. Subscribe so it lands in your feed. Check the label, check the parent. Buy American where it actually still exists.